All right, good morning, everyone. This is Gail Prechtel with New Med Concepts, and today we're on the Motivational Monday meetup, and we're talking about back to work. So we've had this discussion before, and this is kind of a recap of going back to work. So I'm going to get started. We're going to jump right into it. We have a lot of information to cover because there's a lot of new things now that have come up. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so this is a recap of back to work, and this is my contact information. So if anyone is interested in or has any questions at all, needs help with anything, feel free to text me, call me, email me, and there's my contact information right there. So I wanted to remind everyone too, we have a student challenge going on right now. And this is for any of the students. I really wanted to kind of honor the students and recognize the students because they've really had a hard time this year. They've had to finish up online with their classes, and then they're still waiting to find out from State Board whether they can take the exam or not, and if they'll be able to actually take a virtual exam or how they're going to end up doing this. So they're like everyone else, they're also in limbo. So I wanted to keep inspiring them to keep moving on. And especially for students, you do not have to, let me put it this way, State Board does not mandate what you sell. So you could go on and open a business and start a business consulting and selling skincare. And that's a fantastic opportunity to generate revenue and to start building a clientele. And as you know, with everything that's happened with this pandemic, we are going more virtual. So I'm rewarding any of the students that would like to participate in this program. There's the kit over there to the right. You can see the first class travel kits by Image Skincare. So those are really nice little package to get people started. So I'm giving away 4 prizes, and there'll be 3 of the kits in each of those prizes. And then the grand prize also wins a 4-hour mentorship program with Rejuvenate Mind, Body, and Soul Med Spa. And that's the owner, Sherry McGee. So that's a fantastic opportunity for a student to really kind of get a head start and be able to add that to their resume that they had a mentorship program at a medical spa. So all you need to do to get a raffle ticket is to participate in any of these meetings that I have on New Med Concepts, and also to take any classes that are on New Med Concepts, any meetings, classes, or if you're doing virtual consults, if you've set up a website or you're starting to do virtual consults, anything that you're doing to help continue your practice, I will give you a raffle ticket for. And the drawing's going to be pretty soon, so you've got a couple of weeks, and for every time you do something, you're going to get additional raffle tickets. So that's a way to really boost your chances of winning. So that's going to be drawn on Monday the 15th. There's also another program that I'm setting up, is called North Carolina Spa Talk. And I'm going to start reaching out to anyone that would like to be interviewed. And this will be highlighting your spa, and we'll put that on YouTube and Facebook and help to advertise you and what you're all about and what you believe in, and anything that you really want clients to know about you, and then highlight your work and your spa as well. So I'll be conducting interviews for anyone that's interested in helping to highlight their business. So returning to work, and that can be a lot more complex, as people are finding out right now, than just turning the lights on and starting back up. So we have to take a look at what the demand is going to look like. what are our customers' needs? And based on that demand, we need to pivot our business and be flexible in our thinking, and then create the business model to fit those needs of the clients. So evaluating that demand, and that can help to make us decide which direction are we going to go. So some things to think about. It's really all about ensuring the safety of your staff and your clients. And I forgot to mention too, if you wouldn't mind just muting yourselves for this portion, it'll just help with any background noise. And then you can unmute yourself for any questions. And then at the end, we can unmute and have a discussion. But ensuring the safety of our clients is essential. And that truly is going to be the future of our success. You know, as you've seen, this isn't something that just went away and everybody just goes back to normal. This is going to take a long time. And it also is going to take a while for people to learn how to integrate and go back to work in a very safe way and in a sanitary way. So we have to take a look at what we're doing and the actual spa itself. You know, what's your setup like? Do you need to rearrange your spa? What about the treatment rooms, the reception area? Some people have relaxation areas too. So I know some of my spas have actually very large reception areas or very large relaxation rooms. And that's a lot of space now that's wasted space because they can't let people congregate in those rooms any longer. So I actually have some spas that are renovating those areas, and in the relaxation area where there were so many people, now they're actually making individual rooms, individual areas, like relaxation areas for people. So you have to start thinking about your actual layout and plan, and think about ways that you can utilize that space better and safer. So across the country, you know, the different degrees of risk are going to vary depending on, you know, how intense the COVID has been in that particular area and the density in the population, all of that. But new policies have to be put into place too to ensure the safety of everyone, including the staff. So the staff feels comfortable coming into work. Not only the clients, but the staff needs to be super healthy too. So think carefully and think very creatively about how to ensure this. You know, your retail products are another thing. You know, we've been really big on having all of our retail products out, having testers out. That's something that we can't have anymore with testers. You know, you're not going to be able to share those bottles any longer. So maybe think of taking those off your shelves, no more testers, and maybe only giving out individual samples of things. Even that, you know, we have to be careful. And also, we used to let clients touch the products, pick up the products. And in some places, they've taken the products away from the ability of people to touch and feel and all of that, and putting them behind the counter. Other areas, they're leaving them all out because it's still super inviting, and it's a lot better for sales if you have the products out, but then they're manning those areas with the staff so that only the staff is able to handle the products and help clients with the products and that kind of thing. So some things to think about between your retail and your layout. Making a checklist. So there's so many little things. So making a checklist is a good idea. Changing simple things like your answering machine. Sometimes we forget what's actually on the service. You know, maybe you've had it on there for a long time, and maybe you need to take a listen to that again. When people are calling, they want to feel secure, and that first voice, you know, that's your first impression. What's on your answering machine is going to be very important. Letting people know that you're going through the process of making it really safe for them and following certain guidelines, that you're not taking walk-ins, things like that. figuring out of what you really want, the most important things that you want to say on your greeting. Updating all of your platforms, like your new policies, social media, email blasts, your texts, all the different forms of advertising that you have should be communicating what your plan is to your clients. I know that there's some places that have reopened that have been calling me back and saying, hey, we're open now. Well, that's not enough for me. I want to know, not only do I want to know that you're open, but I want to know, well, what are your practices now? What are you doing? Do you have to wear masks? What's your protocols? So that's very important for me to know before I even want to make an appointment with that establishment again. Updating and taking online sanitation certification. Now, Milady has a fantastic one that I really encourage everyone to take. That is actually free right now. It's normally, I think, $26, anywhere from $20, $26, something like that. But Milady, due to the crisis, Milady has put that online for free. So that's an excellent webinar where you can actually get certification. And then, of course, there's a lot of companies that have biocides and sanitary products that, like Barbicide, and you can also get certifications from those companies too in their use of their products. And they have some great tips as well for getting back to work. So check into some of these other manufacturers and educational facilities like Milady. Remove all paper brochures. So state board, at least in North Carolina, it varies state to state. So you always need to check with your state board. And these things can change too. But right now we're looking at taking out all of the paper brochures, the magazines, any shared items at all in your spa are no longer acceptable. Removing all shared food, all beverages. In a lot of spas, we have all kinds of snacks laid out. So that's all has to be taken away. And really, there may be ways. I know one spa is saying, well, if you'd like something to drink, we will get it for you, so that there's very minimal touching and in between getting them something. And if you haven't done this already, then you do need to go ahead and order as soon as possible, because these things are limited and in short supply, and it's really tough to get a hold of some of these things. And of course, too, the price has gone up dramatically in some cases. So all of your PPE, your mask, your gloves, your hand sanitizers, cleaning supplies, extra disposables, thinking about linens. We no longer have all of the fancy bedding on the massage tables and our treatment tables any longer. Anything that can be disposable, that's more sanitary, is going to be in its place. Linens, towels, neck strips for capes, if you're a hairdresser, going back to the old style, some of those things were not a bad idea. Bringing the neck strips back to protect the customer's neck. There should be a clean cape every single time, but that just gives a little extra sanitation. Headrest covers. I know my massage therapists are getting disposable headrest covers, just to make it more convenient and a little bit, I think, easier on the client's mind, knowing that these are more disposable. But clean, 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 constantly cleaning. And the other thing is, you need to clean in front of people too. Let them know that this is what we do. Create a written protocol for cleaning and disinfecting and sterilization, and get familiar with your OSHA. Refresh your OSHA. That might not be a bad idea, especially in a larger spa and salon, to go through and have a class on OSHA. Training the staff and the clients on new procedures and policies, and putting them in writing. You can't just tell people about it, you also have to reinforce it. And in fact, and I'll show you a little bit later, but signage is actually mandatory in North Carolina. There are certain signs that you have to have posted now on the door and on the entry when you come into a spa. So clients want to know what measures you have in place. Update your software to be able to manage memberships. With all of these changes, we're also seeing great changes in how we're doing business. And it's going to be more important than ever to really make sure that you're keeping track of your clients and managing, having memberships to help bring them back, um, helping them with their sales and services and collecting that data. It's more important than ever because of shipping and making sure you have all the updated shipping address on your client, and taking virtual consults, having the software to manage and be able to tie that all in together when you're doing a virtual consult, and then you can track um, your client sales. Because it's going to take you longer to be able to treat people, because now you have more sanitation in between clients, plus social distancing, everything's taking a little bit longer. You're probably not going to be able to take as many clients per day. So how are you going to make that up? And you can make that up very quickly and very easily with your retail sales. So having a software program in place to track the sales of a client, to automatically send them a reminder when you know they might be running out of that product in about 2 to 3 months, things like that. This is going to be crucial to businesses moving forward, to really be on top of your software. Update your website, your online virtual consults, your online retail sales, giving it a fresh new look, being able to, if you haven't had sales online, creating the ability to have sales online. That's a huge part of our business. And I know that a lot of our spas have been able to keep the lights on because of what they've been selling. They've had curbside pickup, they've been able to drop ship, they've been able to sell retail products. And that's what keeps them alive and keeps their clients engaged too. So your sales are more important than ever. And in the future, even when you're open and even when you're doing clients, they're still going to be a huge part of your business. So think about what policies are yours, that are particular to your particular spa. Not everyone is going to be the same. As we said, there's different demographics, there's different geographical areas that are affected more intensely than others. I know that in some of more of my metropolitan areas, they're definitely taking people's temperatures before they even go inside, that kind of thing. They're limiting what kind of parcels people are bringing in to limit and streamline just materials coming in and out of the spa. No walk-in appointments any longer. It's by appointment only. And that's including your product services and getting retail products. You can't just walk in, you need to make appointments. Guests and friends must wait in the car. No more relaxing and waiting for your spouse in the lobby. You have to sit in your car. No children. And then a sign-off waiver. That's something that you might want to have an attorney kind of review for you. But having a sign-off waiver for COVID-19 questionnaire upon arrival, that everyone has to fill out a questionnaire. The other thing is they want all your contact information, because what happens if somebody gets sick, or if you were there at the time? If I was a client and I came in and there was someone else that was sick, that they found out later that was sick, they could contact me and say, oh, on this day you were there on Tuesday. Well, there was someone else that also had symptoms that was brought to our attention. So we suggest that you go ahead and seek medical attention. I just wanted you to be aware of that. So lots of legal things too that we have to think about. And prevention type things that we have to think about. So having a waiver is a good idea. Client temperature being taken and screened. Staff temperature also taken and screened every day. So that's the other thing. We don't want our staff members coming in when they're not feeling well and spreading it to everyone else. So these are all guidelines to really think about too, for the employees as well as your guests. Shoes, outer jackets removed and taken at the door. And then separate areas, having separate areas when they enter, and maybe changing before they go into treatment rooms. Some other policies would be to wear a mask, telling the client that they must bring a mask with them, because State Board does state that we need to be able to provide masks, that everyone has to have a mask, and it's our responsibility. Just because somebody says, oh, I don't have one, or they don't feel like wearing one because they don't believe that, there's some people that don't want to do it, and there's some people that will. Maybe they have medical conditions that they don't wear the mask, but for whatever reason, you still have to be able to provide them with one if they come without one. So, in between those services. So it is required, it is mandated. And I know that that could be a big expense, because then you would have all these clients coming in saying, oh, well, I have a mask, but it's in my purse, but I want your mask. So what some of my spas are doing is they're saying, well, that's fine. We can provide a mask for you, but there's an additional charge of like $2 or whatever. So for a couple of dollars, or pretty much at cost what they got the mask for, or you can have some for sale there that they can purchase before they can get come into the spa. All staff must be fully equipped with protective gear. You must wash your hands upon arrival, or sanitize the hands with hand sanitizer upon arrival. I know some spas will state that immediately, that as soon as you come in, you've got to wash your hands before you can be treated. We will be limiting the number of guests to maintain social distancing. So only a certain number of people will be allowed to enter and to be allowed to come to the reception area at a time. You still have to maintain that 6-foot distance. And you'll continue sanitizing the facility regularly throughout the day, including disinfecting on surfaces, equipment, seating areas, and before and after each patient. And executing the deep cleaning protocol each night. So it's a good idea to allow clients to see that you're wiping surfaces down and that you're cleaning in front of them and washing hands and things like that too. And not just saying that, but they're actually seeing it too. Other policies, there's now longer appointment times that will be instituted to ensure less guests in the facility. So we need to let our clients know it's going to take longer between appointments. It's going to take longer to get an appointment. Less staff will be on the schedule, so they'll have to book out in advance. Booking their appointments in advance is a good idea. Allowing patients, or only patients will be allowed in the facility. We also have a strict 48-hour cancellation policy. So think about your cancellation policies. If they've been a little bit lax in the past, now if you miss a client, that's a lot of time out of your schedule. So think about having a cancellation policy put into place, and what that is, you might need to review it. And how are people checking out? Are you accepting Apple Pay or other ways of contactless checkout? And then just reminding them there'll be no more coffee or snacks at that time. Some other additional considerations to think about in your building. Do you have HEPA air filters? Maybe, at least once at night, you could do the ozone. Consider investing in an air purifier with ozone or ultraviolet light. That'll help to disinfect the air in your building as well. Using long-term antimicrobial products. And that's something that I will have in the future. I think that people really don't realize what all these different antimicrobials can do. And there are a number of different types of treatments out there. Some are better than others, and a lot of people don't even realize the difference. So I would like to do another webinar that is going to be all about antimicrobials and also other products, other new technology that has residual effects that give you longer term benefits in between cleanings. So we'll discuss that at another time in depth. But having disposable protective gear for staff, and again, I can't say enough about the residual antimicrobial technology and looking into that. So the future is evolving for us. You know, clients are looking to you to help lead them. And even though you think everybody knows this, everybody's going to know I have gloves, everybody's going to know I clean, everybody knows, don't take that for granted. People want that security and that trust more than ever right now. So make sure that you're reiterating that with all of your clients, and they'll appreciate it. Giving them very clear guidelines on your procedures, showing how excited you are that you can't wait for them to come back, and that you have brand new post-pandemic policies in place. And be sure that they understand the policies before they come to the spa. Social distancing will be the standard in all of our practices. And look at your menu too. There might be some things on your menu now that you need to eliminate, or maybe you need to alter or change the way that you're doing those services. So think about what areas you can add items to replace those services, creating new protocols, creating new services to help take the place of some of those things that you may not be able to do now. Again, sanitation is really important, and posting those signs, you know, just making it obvious. And think about the little things too, like at the checkout, having separate pens. We can't share a pen any longer. So you might think about having promotional pens and just letting them and say, okay, well, you can keep that pen, and giving them a fresh pen each time they go to sign, and let them keep the pen. So alternatives to paying. And also software for paying. We talked a little bit about software, but this is just a reminder too about your virtual software for when it comes time for clients to pay. And a lot of places are actually having clients pay in advance before they get there, so then they don't even have to swipe their card. They've already paid virtually online, and it makes it a lot easier. So once they get there, they just come in, they get their service, and then they leave. So making sure that you have these things in place could be the difference between somebody shopping with you or not. Some other things that you can do is just like what we're doing, you know, create online classes. And clients love to learn. They love to see what's new. They love to see what's going on. So plan on practicing and doing some videos that you can send, and you can record these and send them through the email or post them on social media. You can show your new spa, some of the new things that you're doing, maybe go through a cleaning protocol, what you've done. I've seen some of my spas actually post cleaning services coming in and really doing heavy duty deep cleaning just to reassure clients before they took pictures of the workers in there and sent them to the clients so they could see that they were actually doing these things. Seeing is believing. But all kinds of topics. You can also have events. And I'm here to help you with that because I specialize. I've done many, many years and thousands of events in the spa industry. So I'm happy to help you in any way. I can co-host an event with you if you'd like to do a special launch of products, a special reopening of your business. Maybe you want to highlight some certain products and educate on them. I'm more than happy to help you in any way that I can. There's all kinds of cool virtual tools now. We can do side by side, we can do group, but it's really fun for your clients to have a virtual time together, like a little spa party. And self-care products are the future. More and more self-care products, we're seeing it already. All kinds of devices that people are using at home. But, you know, sometimes I see estheticians get nervous about that, but really it's the opposite. You know, you can have all these cool devices and have things that you can do for yourself at home, but it is always nicer to have someone do it for you. And it is always nicer, and people really want advice. They want advice from a professional. And so they're willing to pay for that, whether it's online or whether it's in the spa. So really thinking about those products are going to be key to your financial health and wealth over the years. So really, there's lots of classes and product knowledge, and the more confident you are about products and ingredients and how to use them, and maybe some fun different ways of how to use them and how to pass that information on to clients, that's what's really going to help you through. There's also guidelines from your state board. So this is the state board in North Carolina, the North Carolina Cosmetic Arts.com, and they have a lot of downloadables as well. So they have checklists, check in with your state, and they're constantly renewing too, because I just checked last week and there was a couple new things in there that weren't in there before. And then of course, you need to check with your governor. Whatever state you're in, whoever the governor's office is, you need to contact them as well, because they mandate what our state boards can do and cannot do. So you need to check with both of those entities for updates. And they also have some cool little guidelines and printouts that you can use. Now, Image Skincare has also created a playbook. So this is a back to business playbook, and they've done a lot of things for you already. And you can get to this through the Image website. So for any of you professionals out there, and students included, you can go online, log into your professional login. It'll take you to the professional site and go to the business resources, and you'll find the playbook. So this is an example of what's in the playbook. I won't go into everything in detail because this is something that you can download for yourself, and then you'll have this and it'll take you step by step. So this is a great downloadable checklist. And they've partnered with many different professionals to get some ideas. So they cover connecting and communicating, tips with your client, how to communicate all this with your client, preparing to reopen for success, how to show your client's commitment to safety and sanitation, adapting and adjusting, the importance of flexibility and catering to specific client needs, reopening checklist, a printable asset guide that'll take you step by step through the reopening process, your sanitation commitment. It's a printable display asset that showcases your sanitation standards, and client etiquette list, which is really nice because, we have the spa etiquette lists on a lot of our websites, but I think this is nice because it needs to be updated. So precautions before they come for their treatments, what the clients need to know before they come. Reopening e-blast template. So you already have an e-blast, and emails are more important than ever. I've had a lot of spas tell me that, oh, that's so old school, we don't do that, we just do social media. Well, you're missing out on a huge percentage of people that do still look at their email and that do respond to the emails and that actually look forward to it. So don't forget to email as well as text and social media. In this day and age, you have to do it all. You can't just do one. You need to do all formats. Social distancing signs, they're actually giving you signs. So you'll be able to download and print out some of these signs that are mandatory, at least in our state, that you have to have posted. A guest policy sign, a treatment sign, treatment room sign, on whether you've disinfected the room or if it's being in use, so that the next person at some of the busier places, so the next person knows that it's been sanitized. So those are downloadable that you could print off and have little door hangers, things like that. And then a thank you template to acknowledge your loyal clients. So there's a lot in here. So getting in touch with the clients and announcing the reopening and sharing the guidelines and filling your appointment book. So this is something that you can go through and download, and lots of great tips in here for you. And Image is great with their social media. So they also have templates already made for you that you can use. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All the graphics are already done. So this is what you can use to reach out to your clients and post. They even give you hashtags that you can use, like "What's my Esty doing?" And this will help to bring them back to you locally. So if somebody's looking, let's say in North Carolina or in the Charlotte area or the Boone area, they could look up "What's my Esty doing in Boone?" And they can see that the spa at Osceola is up there, or "What's my Esty doing in Raleigh?" and so on. So it's great to use our list of hashtags as well. And on sanitation, they go through the sanitation, talking about how to update your and maintain your retail sales, removing all the testers, um, implementing a new way to sample products, reviewing precautions you've taken to ensure client safety while shopping for their favorite products, wiping down each product before placing it into a retail bag. That's a nice extra step that not everybody may do, and that could set you apart from other spas. Stocking up on single-use samples. So we do have different specials. I'll mention them later too, where you can take those samples and utilize those for special promotions, but no more shared samples. So I'm not going to go through every single one of these because we have discussed a lot of it, but I just wanted to let you know that this is available for you to download so that you can go through this and step by step and also download items. Here's another checklist on client communications, employee communications, safety and sanitation. Another list, and this is something that's already done for you. So if you're looking at an email blast, you can just take this template and put your name up at the top, your logo and your name, and then it reiterates a lot of these things that we're talking about. Our commitment to you, the health and safety of our clients and employees, are number one priority, and we're taking additional precautions and following the following guidelines below. And then it lists, this is what we're doing, and then these are things that we want you to do on your part before you come to the spa. Here's another one. Again, this is great to just go ahead and insert your own guidelines. So these are basic templates that you can take, put your own logo and your name in, and then know what type of precautions before your visit. And then if you notice down here below, your guideline here. So it gives you some basic guidelines, and then you can either delete these if that's all you want to say, or you can just continue to add what's specifically you want to do within your spa. Here's another one. Please take note of precautions before your visit. This is just another example. So some different layouts that you can use. And then these are separate signs. So you can also download, these are separate signs, and this is what needs to be posted. You also need to post how many people your building can hold. So let's say if it was 50, you have to post that, and it's 50% of that, so only 25 people can enter. So you do need to post your capacity as well, and the frequent hand washing and all of that. So these are basic signs that we need to post. So just a reminder again about the student challenge. Don't forget to email me or text me, let me know that you're participating in the student challenge so I can get a raffle ticket in for you. And again, that's June 15th, we'll be doing that drawing. And also, if you know anyone that's interested in being interviewed for the North Carolina Spa Talk, to go ahead and reach out to me, and we'll set that up so we can set up an interview, and then yourself and your business will be highlighted, and we'll put that up on YouTube, and you can share that on Facebook and utilize that for yourself as well, because it will be recorded. So I'm looking for people that would like to be interviewed. And that includes students. If you're starting out your business and you're starting an online business and you're starting virtual consults and selling products, I'm more than happy to highlight your business as well. And this is the specials for June from Image Skincare. So welcoming people back, this is a fantastic opportunity to welcome people back and pass on the savings to your clients. So I just wanted to show you some of the June promotions from Image, and you'll see that email blast. If you haven't got it yet, you should be receiving it shortly. So take advantage of any of these sales from your vendors, and then I would pass those on to your clients. You know, give them a welcome back, give them a little bit more incentive for coming in and or doing virtual consults and purchasing online or using curbside pickup, passing along these special incentives for your clients as well. So again, think about things like, what can I add to complement my business? You know, how can I grow and excel in this new marketplace? And it's really about expanding your offerings and embracing wellness. And if there's anything that I can do at all, you know, I'm here to support you. I've got many ideas that we've gathered from different spas across the country and the world, literally, that, you know, I'm more than happy to share ideas and help you to be as successful as possible. And I'm very grateful that you joined today. I appreciate that. And I'm going to open this up again so we can share. I've got a couple special guests, Rosita and Brandy, if you'd like to unmute. Did you have any other questions or comments, things that you'd like to add or talk about?
No.
No?
I've been following you for a long time, so I know most of the things.
Yeah, this is kind of a recap and a review for you, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, I
Yes.
appreciate your input.
Yeah.
So Brandy, did that help?
It did. I think, yeah, it definitely did. I took some pictures of a lot of the slides. I took some notes down. I think I've reached out to other estheticians within the state, and I haven't gotten any positive feedback of we feel good. We're good going into this. So I have been a little bit apprehensive. So it does help. It's just a matter of, there's really nothing you can do as far as once you're touching their face is exposed. I think that's been my biggest concern, is being very in close quarters with their face, especially knowing that all these other, you know, practitioners in the business other than estheticians, their clients are all wearing masks and we don't have that option. So I think that's been a very big concern of mine.
Right. And that's very understandable. Yeah, it's tough, and you have to make your own decisions about that. And I know that there's some estheticians, some of my clients, that actually felt that they needed to get out of the business because they didn't want to bring that to their family because they were compromised, or someone in their family's compromised. So it's something very serious that, you know, we have to take a look at, and you have to do what's best for yourself and your family. But then on the other hand too, you know, some people are starting out doing other types of services where they do keep their masks on, as you said earlier. You know, you're
Waxing.
opening up to waxing, or you're opening it up to some other services. But I know in my medical spas, you know, they've gone ahead and they're doing chemical peels, they're doing services, facial services, injectables, all those things. And when the client comes in, they're just taking their, you know, they're working around it, and then they take their mask off.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the estheticians, you know, obviously it's going to be super important for you to have good quality protection.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously wearing gloves, doing all this, you know, all the sanitation, you're doing everything that you possibly can for the room itself and to protect you. So your mask is going to be very important, you know,
Mm-hmm.
having a good quality, high quality mask.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you
Yeah,
know,
I do have one that I mean, we all have to wear them, but I have a mask that I've been wearing since the beginning of all this, just going out or just whatever. So I have that, but I think it's a matter of, well, masks are
breathe,
protecting the other people. Yeah.
yeah.
And
And the other
if they
people,
can't,
right.
yeah.
Right. Because it increases when they take off the mask.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then having like the facial shield, you know, have you
Yeah.
thought about that, having like, so that your eyes are also protected, or wearing glasses or goggles or something that where you're protected too, because they
I,
enter through eyes. So you have your eyes and your breathing covered.
I, I
A lot of
asked,
people complaining about that because it's not so comfortable working with it.
right. Yeah, that's what I've reached out to some estheticians, and they said we face shields, we can't hardly work in them. We can't. They just don't have positive things to say about that. Because I was actually considering that. I would really like to do that, but they were like, it just doesn't really work.
I know some
Um,
doctors when they wear the mask and they see me
yeah,
not wearing a mask, and they say, "You mind if I take my mask off because he can't work like that?" They
yeah.
complain a lot about wearing the mask, and I said, "No, I
Well,
don't mind. Go ahead."
I mean, I'll be wearing the mask regardless. But as far as the face shields go, I've heard they make it very difficult to work. So, that
It,
was something I was considering, though.
yes, and it depends too on the face shield, because there's different face shields that are out there, obviously different quality too. And I've seen one medical spa, they're actually like a helmet. I mean, there's more expensive too, so there's an investment. But if it's something you want to continue to be able to provide those type of services, and you want to protect yourself better, they actually had full helmet, enclosed, almost like a spacesuit, encapsulated shield. So they, you know, if you lean down, it's not going to fall open and hit the client in the head, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so there's that. And then I've also seen where they have shields that go across the client. So they're working their hands underneath, and then there's like a plexiglass shield over top.
Mm-hmm.
So it is difficult. And, you know, but if you love the industry and you want to stay in it, then there's other ways to maneuver around that too. So if you're really hesitant, because I wouldn't want anyone to feel scared to work, and I wouldn't want anyone to feel unsafe and to be at risk, to increase your
Especially your
risk.
client.
It's a real thing. So there's other ways to stay in the business and not necessarily do the services though too. And I hate to say that, because we
Yeah.
really need it, and it's a wonderful thing to do. I mean, I can't say enough about, you know, skincare, facial treatments, and actually getting a professional service done, and all the benefits, you know, mentally, physically, emotionally, on so many levels. You know, we do so much, but if you're concerned, but you still love it and you want to stay in it, then we need to turn to other ways that help clients help themselves at home too. And
Right.
we can walk them through. We can, you know, not all the professional products, but that means upping your home care. and getting them to do different masks and different things at home, and maybe having virtual meetups with them where you're doing
Mhm.
services online with them and taking them step by step, once a week through a progressive program. Um, just doing more tips and tricks and becoming a skin expert online, and
Mhm.
really increasing your sales. So you do become more of a consultant, a virtual consultant.
Mhm.
So that is an
Yeah.
option if you want to stay in the business and become a virtual consultant. But
Mhm.
I don't really have an answer yet. And to it's an individual. Some people are fine with it and they're working on patients, and they're fine with having them, keep the mask on right up until that time that they need to remove the mask and then do the treatments. The other thing that helps is the length of time. An hour and a half facial, yeah, no, not any longer. We're
Really?
reducing,
Okay.
well, just reduce, well, I'm not saying, I mean, you could, and there's
For now,
some
just
still out there. I'm not saying you can't. You can do
okay.
anything you like, but to
Okay.
reduce the time, and that's why getting in and out of a building faster, that's what everybody's trying to do, not have those long, lengthy time periods. So helping yourself and a client feel safer is the amount of time that you're around that person. So helping to reduce the time. So making that hour and a half facial, well, now it's maybe 45 minutes, an hour at the most, you know,
That makes sense.
and reducing that time. So now your peels become more important because we can help them with a lot of those other things at home. But then those things that are really essential that only a professional can do, really, and that'll help you too in a lot of ways, like your enzyme peels. If they don't want any downtime, we have peels without downtime, but that are more
Mhm.
intensive than a facial. Now, you still need facials for extractions, but you could focus that day just on extractions. And you can still make it relaxing in it, but it'll be a shorter period of time,
Right.
45 minutes to 50 minutes rather than an hour and a half.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I just, if there are certain things George and Mitzi are cutting from the schedule right now, and I think they just haven't really thought about like skincare as much. It was like, let's tackle this first. Like, let's just
Well, you have,
massage and body wraps. Yeah, I mean, fully understandable.
yes.
They've done away with, the dry brushing right now, just, because of germs in there. Just, they have done away with certain little things, but I feel like now they're trying to tackle, like, what can we tweak in skincare? What can we do away with? And if I share some of these things with them, from what you're saying, hopefully they really
Yeah.
respect and value your knowledge a lot. So I'm hoping that they will take seriously what I convey from this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy to, have another conversation. Or this will be recorded too, so that
Mm-hmm.
they can also
Yeah.
see it, but also download that image from
Yeah.
download the Milady site, download the state
Yeah.
board guidelines, and all those things together. You can make an educated decision on what's best for your spa and
Mm-hmm.
staff and all of that. But I know it's been a challenge, but where there's a will, there's a way, and we
Yeah.
can still help people, and maybe you just have to pivot your business a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That
pivot.
makes sense. And I think that's where they're at with it. They're trying to pivot skincare now. That's what they're tackling. So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Well, excellent. Well, keep me posted, as
Okay.
things are going along, and how you feel about it too. I'd love to hear as you're getting more confident, or if you feel like it was necessary to go in a different direction.
Now, I have another question about gloves. Like, so do we need to be wearing gloves while we're doing each facial? And how are clients responding to that, the way that feels?
Yeah, and honestly, I've been in this industry over 40 years. My entire
Mm-hmm.
career, I've worn gloves.
Okay.
everything. And I was also a
Okay.
massage therapist for 25 of those years, seriously, like,
Okay.
you know, hands-on, all that. And people didn't even know that I was wearing gloves. But
Okay.
I paid a little bit more. I bought good quality gloves, and I bought them a size smaller so that they were really tight fitting on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew I was even wearing them unless they looked. And if they did, they were like, "Oh, that's nice." You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I looked at it
Yeah.
as a positive. We're not like, "Oh, I can't believe you wear gloves." Like,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. I've always have been. So, I mean, that's how I always have done business. I've always done facials with them on. Nobody knows the difference. I've always done even massage with them on. Nobody knows the difference.
Huh.
If you're
Okay.
wearing big old floppy, you know, gloves that don't fit, that are cheap gloves, then yeah, you're going to notice it, and you're not going to be able to work properly.
Yeah. I
But
think especially there are certain clients like I would feel comfortable. I just, they're locals. I know where they've been. I know who they are. But some of these clients that are coming and going to the
yeah,
resort, it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know where
I
you've
know.
been. So,
Personally,
yeah.
I wear them all the time, and especially
Yeah.
now, there's no way I would ever do anything without gloves.
Okay.
I would do absolutely all my, because it's not just for their benefit, it's for your benefit.
Okay.
You don't want to be, you want to protect yourself and your family. This is your livelihood,
Yeah.
you know, so you want to protect yourself and your family, and just wear gloves. Get some decent gloves, or at least get them a little bit smaller. And if they break or anything, just switch them out, you know, just, but it's worth, to me, it's worth a few pennies more, and getting some decent gloves. And you can actually, and for hair
Okay.
too, there's
Thank you.
actually gloves, because in plastic surgery, I used to wash people's hair because their hair would be full of blood and everything. So I would shampoo their hair. I would get gloves for that, because
Okay.
you can get gloves that they cost a little bit more, but for hairdressers that you can actually shampoo in, that don't get caught in the hair. There are
Right.
gloves for that too. So there's gloves for everything.
Do you have a brand that you like?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't had to buy them a lot. I used to buy them through the medical company that I was with. So um, I don't know. I'd have to take a look on, I'd have to Google some of those lately, because I haven't bought
Okay.
type for a long time. I haven't needed that type for a while.
Got you. Okay.
But great questions.
Good to know.
All right. Well, thank you so much, girls. I appreciate your input, and we'll stay in touch, and good luck with everything. But stay positive. There's a lot of good things out there. There's still a lot of good people out there in all of this. And so keep up
Yeah.
the
Thank
good
you for your time.
Thank
work. Oh, you're
you.
most welcome. Thank you. All right. You have a great day. I'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Miss Gail,
Yes.
sorry